I will tell you guys right now, I have been running like a mad woman since this morning for good reasons, though. Good reasons. Today was a volunteer day at the Tarrant Area Food Bank. So they had an event called Empty Bowls, sold out crowd. So I'm always happy when I can donate my craft to helping others. So I was happy to get that. But yeah, we have been running and gunning, and the day is not over yet. It is not over yet. But what we're going to do before I do anything else, as I look at my screen, because I don't multitask like that, I'm going to play some intro music. Good afternoon. Man, I tell you, it's Friday already. I have no idea where the week went. It's actually, as I like to say, TGIFF, that G is Fire Fridays, because we start here with Girl Listen, and then we'll pick it up at 𝐓𝐫𝐿 Media with Ladies Listen Up. So it's gonna be a great Friday. Before we go too far, let me welcome in my crowd. We've got my mama here. Mother is excited because I'm gonna be in Houston. So I'm gonna be in Houston, and I'm bringing her food. Even more reasons to be excited. So I am bringing in all the goodies today. And she says hello to everyone. Ron Foster, my other husband, is here. And in any other place, that would sound awful. But here it's okay because he's my work husband. So it works itself out, right? We have Danny here as well. Good day to you, ma'am. And she, of course, is sending her salutations to my mother as well. So I'm moving some things around, only because like my hearing on this side is kind of wonky. So let me know if the music is too loud. I know the last time we did something on another show, it was way out of whack. Let me know if it's not acting appropriately, because we can clearly adjust it. It's nothing worse than not knowing that things are out of whack until afterwards. Yes, I don't want that. But while I'm talking about it, while I'm there, before I get into today's topic, I want to talk about it again. 𝐓𝐫𝐿 Media. 𝐓𝐫𝐿 Media. I want to shout them out again. And I do know Danny watches 𝐓𝐫𝐿 Media on the Roku app. So shout out to Danny. Let me know if you are watching, where you watch it. Is it on YouTube, Roku, Twitch, Facebook? Did I get them all? Let me know. Until then, as I'm trying to figure it out, I'm going to play this promo. Update my promo because we have launched and we are on week number 5. It is amazing over there, people. I'm just going to say this really quick. It's a blessing that the good Lord touched Dr. Tachi to put this together and create this platform for creators like myself to share our gift. Ooh, y'all. And Friday is where it's going down. So just make sure that when you leave here, you can head on over there because it's going down over there as well. And hey, we have Tanya in the building. Happy Friday to you, ma'am. Happy Friday. Hey, we have 𝐴. Hello. Oh, all right. This really is a soapbox moment. But there is also a lesson in this message. There's a lesson here. Today's topic is, I know you ain't talking about me. And I could have done talking about, but I put it as talking about. So I'm gonna work that out for us. All right, people. Now, most of us in this crowd are of age. I am proud to say I am this most amazing, stunning 48, hitting 49, if the good Lord say so. Yes, I know, right? You'd be like, oh, gee, yes, I know. Having said all that, why is it that there are people my age still engaging in what I would call some juvenile behavior? I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand it because it doesn't make sense to me, right? Like that doesn't make sense to me. I believe a couple of things are happening when it comes to these the idea of talking about other people, and I'm going to go into that. I want to first start off with one of the thoughts behind it. And I know you're thinking, Gwendolyn, of all the things, where is it coming from? When I read some of the social media comments, and I do read them, I read them for two reasons. One, just want to see just how ignorant people are in the group, just want to know. Okay. And then other times, though, there are places that spark my interest and give me topics to talk about on this podcast. So that's why I go there. When I read some of these comments that people leave, I think to myself, and who are you to comment on someone else's life, gifts, or whatever they're doing, right? Like, you don't wake me up in the morning. You don't help me get home safe at night. You're not paying my bills. Like, you're not doing any of that. So why would it even matter? So here's my first thought about the way I come from, because I really do believe that people aren't talking about me. So this is real. So when I tell you I'm about to share some things, I'm about to share some things. Okay. So here's my first thought. Why would anyone be concerned about me? Now, there is this song. It's a Zydeco song. And I want to say, Mother Help Me. I think it's called Haters, and it says, like, raise your hand if you know you got haters. First of all, I believe everybody has a hater or two somewhere, but you need those people. You do need them. You need people who are going to cheerlead you on, like, yay. And you need people who, like, say awful things, and they don't have to be too awful, but they say awful things, because that can just be like fuel for the fire. Now, I don't need that kind of fuel, but trust me, as a Virgo, if you say something, I am going to not only take a picture, I'm going to do a whole book, maybe an album, and then send it to you so that you never forget how wrong you were. That's where I go. But in my head, I don't believe that there is enough of me going on for anyone to be concerned, right? That's my first thought. It's like, well, I'm just Gwendolyn, right? Like, there's nothing amazing going on over here. Like, there's nothing to talk about over here. We don't get into a lot of foolishness. I wasn't raised that way. Right? Like, we go out, we do what we got to do, and we go home. Straight and narrow is the path. And if you stay away from messy people and keep messy people out your house, then it's nothing to talk about. Now, my mama and my grandmama, they always said, be careful of who you let in your house. Now, as a kid, I thought, whatever. As an adult, I got it. Because there are people who bring in all of their negative energy and all of their foolishness into your house in quotations. You don't need that. You don't need it. Now, in real talk, if you do happen to be around some shitey people and they come into your house, they are the first person to steal from you. Okay? Just be advised. I've seen that too. You're thinking you're bringing people over and you're welcoming them and you're entertaining, and all the while they're scoping you out. Not that you should worry about possessions, but just know that when people get robbed, like from their homes and stuff, somebody has been in your house to know exactly what to look for. I'm just saying. So that's number one. But here's my second thought. This is the most important thought out of all of them, is who cares? Who cares? Again, these people are not paying your bills. They don't help you get home at night. They're not making you dinner. They don't even wake you up. They don't have that kind of power. so who cares? There is a beautiful quote that I think about, and of course it's from RuPaul, one of my favorites. What people think of me is none of my business. It is none of my business. Zero. Zero. Like, I don't care. I have no concern whatsoever. And so I go back to those social media comments where people leave comments, and I'm gonna use Rihanna as an example, because I read this today, and she just introduced a new foundation, and in the comments, people are again asking for another album. When's the next album? We been gonna get another album. Shouldn't you be doing this? When I read those comments, I thought about Prince, because Prince had mentioned that he had received feedback from people that he should go back to creating music the way he used to. He should go back to doing all the things he used to do. People miss the idea of evolving as a person, as a human, as an artist, as a creative. We are evolving. I am not the same person that you met 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. And that can be a good thing. We are blessed with gifts. Now, the good Lord clearly gave Rihanna the mind to not only create amazing music, but fashion and cosmetics. Who are we? Some random person to tell this woman that she should not explore and share all of her gifts. Like, it baffles me how people will tell other people what they should and shouldn't do with their gift and their time, as if it really matters. Don't nobody care what you're thinking. Don't nobody care. Now, I know we had this conversation just a few weeks ago about agreeing to disagree. This will be put in that boat as well. What people think about me, one, ain't none of my business. Two, I don't care. I really don't care. Gwendolyn could give 2 nickels. Okay, actually, I'm not even giving 2 nickels. I'm giving you 2 wooden nickels. 2 wooden nickels for all those thoughts. Really? All of those. Ron says here that 90% of the time, thieves are done by someone. Yeah, man, I'm going to say it again. When we talk about letting people into your home, think of your environment as your home base. Like, this is you. And I'm sure you've all been someplace where you've walked in some place, some building, some function, and the energy is off, and you're like, what is that? Or you're at a place, work, school, whatever. Somebody walks in and he's like, yeah, you gotta trust your gut. Trust your spirit, because people do carry certain kind of energy with them. Trust that. Trust it. But it has been shown that when you have these home invasions and all this other stuff, it is somebody who has been in your house. It is somebody you know. It's not some random person that's just like, oh, I'm going to do this. Not that random crimes don't happen. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is some of these crimes are attached to the company you keep. So let's get into some real talk right here. I believe that when people take the time to talk about other people in a negative sense, because we do want people in our lives who are going to mention our name when we are not there. Now, I've seen it in action. I have seen people say, oh, you should talk to so-and-so. They're really great. I have a friend, blah, 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 who does this. That's the beauty of networking, real networking. That should be a show. Real networking. You want people to mention you in the rooms that you're not in. You want that. What I'm talking about are the people, in my opinion, who are clearly insecure. They're insecure. And so instead of focusing on what they can do and what they can control and living their life, making a move to live a better life, they would much rather sit around and just drag on and on about this person and that person, and so thinks they're this. It's so exhausting. Do I know some of those people? I may know a couple. Now, I'm not going to say that I stay there. I'm going to say, and you see I'm pausing because, my mom was watching. I'm trying to be gracious. What I'm going to say is I allow people a little bit of time to express themselves, and then you got to move on. You can't stay there. You can't keep, sorry, mama, bitching about the same old thing. We can't stay there. It's exhausting. It's tiring. It just gives you rankles. It does nothing for your body. It is just a waste of time and space and energy. Let it go. But I believe, and this is more from watching folks and observation. I believe people are just expressing their insecurities. They want to be the person in the middle of that circle getting all the attention. They want to be the person that is getting all the accolades and the bravos and the flowers. They want that for themselves. They don't know how to get it. Or they know how to get it. They're just a little stuck, maybe afraid to do so. Uncomfortable, I don't know. Use whatever word you want to put in there. But I believe when I watch people, listen to people, it's insecurities. Because why does it matter what so-and-so is doing? Like, why do you really care? People have whatever reason that they want to tell themselves. I'm going to call it lies. The lies they're telling themselves. But why does it really matter? How so-and-so wears their hair, or how they do this or how they do that. Like, why is there so much energy put into this person that's not you? It's not even you. Like, why? Because they're insecure. Insecure, and let's go ahead and add to it because I believe it's a friend. There's some jealousy there. There is some jealousy in that bucket. There's some jealousy there because you're like watching and coveting what someone else has, what someone else is doing. Hence, you talk about it and you talk about it. Ugh. Danny says, I don't allow anyone to come over or know where I stay unless I know and trust them 100%. Facts. Now, I am particular about who comes into the house. Danny's been to the house. Danny been here eating up all my food and stuff, drinking up all my drink. I'm just kidding. She doesn't know. She didn't eat and drink of everything. I think we did it together. But yes, you got to be careful. So let's put this together, right? I want to put it together because if we're talking about the energy that we keep and that we vibe off of, right? And people who are insecure, the people that you have around you. Now, as far as I've always known, people who are very sharp and put together and confident tend to kind of hang together. Have you guys noticed that? Like, have you noticed that when you have people that are very much, well, heck, birds of a feather flock together, do they not? Okay, that was proven. But people will vibe together, but there's always sometimes like one person, yeah, there's always like one person who's kind of like, but there is always, in my opinion, a want to bring people up. So you find in these circles where there could be the one person who's kind of not exactly on the same page, you find that you are building them up. You can do it, Sally. You got it, Billy. Come on, Charlie. Like we're there is this want for everyone to feel equal, even though they're like, no, this really isn't working for me, Gwendolyn. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of, so I feel that people do hang around those who are very much like themselves, right? I feel that. So let me go into a real soapbox moment. Wow, that got really loud. Unless it's just me. I swear, the music thing is killing me. All right, so let me give some real thoughts here because I think about it and then I don't think about it, right? I will tell you that I'm a loner. I don't know how I got married. It was a miracle wedding, but I'm a loner. And so being a person who enjoys their own company, I don't think about other people. Now, I love human connections. I like getting with people. Shout out to Danny. We had a great time last Friday. I love conversing with other persons, and just, getting together, just sitting out, vibing, having a conversation, be it face-to-face or virtual. So the Go Brunch community that's in the house, shout out to you guys. Happened to see Gary this past Monday at a networking event. It's just great to be with other people and just talk, just talk. I love it. That's not where it stops for me. All that other stuff, the cattiness, that, the gossip, not that we haven't been at the water cooler, okay? Because I'm good for like 5 minutes at the water cooler, 5 minutes. I can't say much more than that. Maybe 5, maybe 10 but 5. But then life goes on. There are so many things out here that I'm working on and invested in and volunteering for, that the last thing I need to worry about is that. So have there been people who have talked about me? Yes. And I am going to go back to my last job. Okay. Because I'm going to go ahead and say it. For any of you who are watching, if you are using any company related hardware, software, understand that your emails are not private. Okay. So rule number 1, if you're going to talk about somebody, don't use the company tools, right? Don't use the email. Don't use Teams. Don't use Slack. It's not private. If you're going to do it like a boss and talk face to face, right? Okay. Or you use your code language in your text messaging, like hello. But so when people leave, we have to go through their email. Now, we don't have to, but we go through their email. We pretty much are scanning for some crazy stuff just in case. But every now and then you go through someone's email and you see information about yourself. Yes, Gwendolyn found information in somebody's account. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see where this rabbit hole goes. Now, again, this is a working relationship. I don't care. We not friends. We ain't family. We gonna come to this business, get this money, and go home. So really, I don't care whatsoever. But it was interesting to see people's thoughts in their accounts after they have left. And I'm thinking, interesting. My whole deal when I was at the job was, you don't have to like me. You just got to have mutual respect. That is it. I was open to feedback. And I say was in past tense because it's a former life. But I was open to feedback, provided it's real feedback and not some subjective something that has nothing to do with me. So here's the second point. When we talk about perception and reality, you will hear people will say, so-and-so's perception is their reality, and that's valid, and it should be respected. Unless, I'm speaking for Gwendolyn here, you are bringing all of your emotional baggage and try to put it on my back. That's going to be a no. We're not doing that, which I will say again, in the midst of these, well, so-and-so wants to talk about their feedback with you. When I tell you some stuff is crazy, and I was just telling Ron this not long ago, I traveled for a little bit, and I recall a woman who told these people that I was out to get her. I travel. I don't live in this city, this state. I don't work in the store. I am here for 2 weeks and I'm gone. I don't even know who you are. Why am I coming for you? Like, who are you? And I was like, is this lady crazy? Like, I'm sorry, but is she? Because that's insane. It's nutty. So when I see some of these people who do the whole, well, Gwendolyn, I just feel, I don't need your feelings. We got facts and we got feelings. I need some facts. What's the fact? Because your feelings ain't got nothing to do with me. Can't nobody make you feel any kind of way. And I mean that, seriously. I have had people who have attempted to make me feel some kind of way, to put me in my place, to insult me. Y'all don't understand what I'm working with over here. I am a Virgo. We are always 5, 10, 15, 20 steps ahead. So you're going to have to get up early in the morning to really do anything with this one. Attempted. but their feelings. Well, I felt like, it feels like, and I just feel there's a therapist for that. So when we talk about perception and reality, some of these people, and I'm sorry, no, I'm not. Don't even lie. G, don't lie. I'm not sorry. Some of these people have insecurities that have not been touched yet. You need a therapist. You really do. You need a therapist, you need a counselor. Because when you start projecting your emotions onto other people and expecting them to adjust themselves because you are still in some sort of state of something, that's a lot. That is a lot to pick up, especially as a manager, because I have one job to do. One. All this other stuff, that's not in the job description, and we ain't doing it. And I will say this, and I have no problem saying it. We know, and I don't mind saying we, but as a society, Black women have often been put to the task of having to carry someone else's emotional baggage and make someone else feel comfortable and make someone else not feel less than. Who is it? Deion Sanders? Ain't he the one that said it about insecurities? He said it. Yeah. It's not my job. It's not my job. I am not concerned. Danny says, preach. I'm not sure how many people think teams at work is safe because can we really? If you didn't know, you're using someone else's software, hardware, everything, internet, everything. You don't own none of that. Even when you take the laptop home or the phone that's been leased out to you, that's their property. That's not yours. Please act accordingly. Okay? Don't do a whole bunch of stuff thinking that this email that you sent that was blind copied to somebody was actually blind copied. Please don't do it. It's so juvenile. But I'm going to say this really quick. If you are like Gwendolyn, because again, Virgos are stealth. We know how to get things done. If we got to talk about something, we take it outside, way to the back corner, and we talk in person. Okay. We may even pat you down for wires just to make sure there's no proof of what was said. But please don't go writing stupid stuff in your business accounts, because yes, none of that stuff is private. And depending on where you work, I know this is like completely sidebar here, but depending on where you work, when you sign your employment papers and stuff, your agreements, some companies have it that they can do a random check whenever they feel like it. So just be aware. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I thought everybody knew that. Maybe everybody didn't know that. Hey, Peg is in the building. She had an amazing day today. Peggy says, love this. Not anyone's job to carry someone's baggage. It is not. It is not their job. It is not their job at all. It's not. And I'm coming from a place of been there and done that. Been there and done it. And I will tell you, I was 19 years old when I got into retail. And I admit, as a 19-year-old, yes, I was feisty. I admit that. Like, who's not at 19? We know everything, right? Like, come on, let's be honest. But I learned, because I was around some really great people, how to communicate, how to adjust my message per audience. I also learned, as a person who traveled, who didn't want to talk to people because I am an introvert, I learned to find 3 things that I could talk about so that I wouldn't come across as awkward. Okay, because I was not, they're like, Gwendolyn is so great, but she doesn't talk to anybody. She talks to no one. And so I found 3 things that I could talk about that was not truly personal and private and felt comfortable sharing it. And I never had an issue on the road. Speaking of which, there was actually another chick. These people, when I tell you there's some stuff, man, this one lady wrote for feedback that she did not get the welcome she was accustomed to when she walked into the break room and I was at the table. Not making it up. Not making it up. People are crazy. But they're humans, and humans are just bizarre animals anyway. So, what can I tell you? But yes, that was her feedback. So again, I don't mind your feedback. Just make sure it makes sense, that it is objective, not subjective, right? Make sure it's that. But the idea of me adjusting so that you feel better about yourself. Now, let me tell you, I come from a very proud family. My mother and my father. I get it honest. And we just walk with our head held high at all times. When I step into a room, oh, you know G's in the room because I'm stepping. Like I own all of this right here, all of this. I own all of it. That's just how I was raised. But I have found that there are people that when you show up as your full self at all times, it makes them feel some kind of way, but just keep feeling it because that's how we run. But I wasn't there automatically. It really was, again, in the 2000s when we started shifting. And I had a mentor who was really good in telling me, Gwendolyn, it is not your voice. It is not your tone. This person did not want to be held accountable. Nothing to do with you. And I was like, oh, okay. So she put me on the path of recognizing when I'm taking on someone else's emotional baggage. Yeah. Because I thought, well, let me change this and I'm going to change that. And let me tap dance and shuck and jive. And she's like, we not doing that. We're not doing it. Hey, good evening, Gary. Good evening. Hello. 𝐓𝐫 says, you feisty? You know what? What can I tell you? There is, that's just what that is. Wait a minute. Wait, make sure it sounds. Oh, okay. Yes. And 𝐓𝐫 says, is your feedback based reality or your, yes, you're the man. That's, we don't talk about that. And this is not the show for this, although it really could be, but it's another platform. But there was a shift somewhere. And I can't put my finger on it exactly, but we moved to this place of having to tiptoe around the very basic things, such as giving people honest feedback. Now I'm gonna say this again. All right. And I want to say Danny was there. I think Danny was there. We were at a dinner, like a happy hour. And there was a discussion about a colleague. Now, I wasn't part of the workforce there, but I was listening to this. And it amazed me that there was so much talk about this person, but no one had talked to the person. When people talk about me, you do have to let me know because I'm not paying attention. I don't care. So I'm not paying attention. So if you're going to talk about me, let me know so I can listen up and pay attention. Because it's like, well, so, and? But if you have really good feedback for me, and why do we share feedback? Because you want that person to do better, to be better, to thrive, to reach their highest height. That's why you give feedback. Here's what's working well. Here's what could be better. Now, Peggy is always giving us great feedback. And she's always saying, hey, if you need help getting it, I can help you get it done. I'm like, I'm coming. I do drag a foot here and there, but I'm coming. But she's looking to help people in her community be better. Feedback is for that. It's for that. So if you're going to talk about me, then make sure I'm in the room when you talk about me, right? Because you want me to be better. Now, if you want to talk about me because you hating, then have at it. And have some wine and some cheese while you're doing it, right? And get the good stuff, not the cheap stuff. Because I do stuff like big, you know what I'm saying? Like don't skip out on that if you're going to do that. But think about what you're really focused on. We have so much to work on. I when I look at the world and where we are, and I see the people where there are some people who are like living their best life. And then in the comments, there is some sourpuss who's like, don't nobody care. And it's jealousy. You can have a great life too. Get yourself up. I almost said something. Get off the sofa. Get out there and go get it. Because it's there. It's there. Everybody got a blessing. Your blessing is waiting on you. Now, it's not going to come to you. You know, you got to do a little bit of work, but it's waiting for you, provided you get out there and do it. Instead of wasting all this time talking about Peggy, talking about Danny. worry about what so-and-so is doing. You could be doing the same thing. But we got to work on ourselves. There's a little bit of work that needs to be done here to believe it, to receive it, to be ready for it. What was that? There was a saying that says that, things come to you when you're ready for it. I believe that. I really do. I believe it, right? That opportunity, it will present itself when you are ready for it. If you don't have the mindset for it, it's elusive. You'll never get a grasp on it. I'm just saying. Now, with that said, since I've already talked about that, y'all ain't talking about me. I will say something else about that before I wrap this up, because, hey, we're going to be partying very soon over at Indie Soup Media. We are going to be partying very soon. And I want to say, help me out, Ron. Is it 6 o'clock Eastern? We start off with Touch Base Daily. I do believe that starts up first. And I didn't see it this morning because I was volunteer. So I'm going to make sure I catch that replay. And then we have an amazing lineup. We have Glowing Agelessly. Man, beautiful woman with a beautiful message. I'm up next with Ladies Listen Up. And then we tighten it up with Chris Edwards with Safe Space. It's going to be, my mama said, I'm trying to tell you. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, when you're ready for your blessing, it will, but you got to be ready for your blessing. You got to be ready. So tonight, I will say this, tonight on show, we are talking about how we are not for everyone. So I have said all of this, that I don't give two wooden nickels about what folks are thinking, but clearly I must be doing something right because y'all talking about me. So clearly something's going well. Tonight, we're discussing that you are not for everyone. So the idea of adjusting yourself to fit in someone else's definition, don't do it. Don't do it. We're going to have fun this evening. I hope to see all of you there. I can't even tell if the music was on or not. We'll figure that out later. My mama, she has the final quote here. She says, God's timing is different from ours. And the church will say amen. Yes. I know you waiting for it. You rushing. You figure you got to. No. We have plans. We can make your plans, but that ain't got nothing to do with when it's supposed to show up for you. Plain and simple. The good Lord got it. All you got to do is get there. That's how I see it. With that said, I'm going to wish all of you a happy weekend. And if I see you, because we do have interactive chats on YouTube, I will see you all over there. Thank you for watching another episode of Girl, Listen. Be sure to tune in every other Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.